Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with the BGST. We didn't do it yesterday, but we're back today with the show. Not much going on in the news. I'm going to start some shit as always. You know, I'm going to be messy as I can. Try to keep these bots in check. Tim
Talk about ray tracing, bitch.
Oh shit!
Oh my shit! It's the Xbox Overlord.
There you go.
It's me, your new Xbox god. Ray tracing, Game Pass, 4K. Yeah, Xbox bitches, lock it in. There's no hope for you, new Zaire.
Zaire.
Xbox has come for you. We've seen what you've been saying about Xbox, you fraud. Nobody believes you. We saw you on Gears of War for 10 straight hours. What about that, Zaire? Exposed.
Stop bringing up
Get out of here, bitch. This is my podcast now. This is an Xbox podcast. Yeah.
You see,
that shit is fire.
That's
it. Good night. Good night.
You see what I got to put up? Early in the show, they're questioning my integrity. You know what I mean? But,
Zaire, you once said that The Last of Us had better multiplayer than any Xbox game. What do you say now, bitch?
It does.
Bullshit, you lying sack of shit.
It's a megaton, crap. A megaton.
You're gonna get tired of your man. You're gonna get tired of your man.
It's a megaton.
Megaton.
It's a megaton.
No, that shit's funny though.
Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button.
Yeah, you know what? It's like this.
I just want to get on my computer myself.
Dude, yeah, like it's this voice mod thing that I found, and it like I can do different things with it. So it's like I just been having fun with it, like on MNC mornings, you know, because I can
do shit like.
It's BGST, bitches. It's Tim Dog now.
Or I can do this. I am your father. Zaire, come back to the light, bitch. Nobody likes PlayStation anymore.
Because of that goddamn ray tracing. Dolby Vision, bitch.
Dolby Vision. Hell yeah, dude. That's where it's at, man.
Dolby
Vision, man. That's where it's at.
Ladies and gentlemen, see what I gotta put up with? You see this shit? Y'all call me a troll? God damn. Hit the like. We're gonna have a very interesting show today. Who we got today? D said he's joining us too. D said he's on the road. He's joining us. Actually, I can barely see the show now. Let me tweet it out. I didn't tweet shit out. We just live. Okay, me right click, copy, paste.
Oh, hello.
But what's going on, Lee? What's going on with you, crap? I haven't spoken to you.
Not much, man. I kind of took a little break from gaming for about a week, just kind of chill out a bit. You know, I don't know if I'm the only one that gets like that. Sometimes you get a little burnt out on gaming. Can't like I got like a million games, and I just don't really want to play anything right now. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of week off. You know, I'm catching up on some movies and some TV shows and stuff like that. You know, just try to relax and then hopefully get back into it. You know, I think it's that summer stuff, man. Work. And you know, it's like you come home, the heat and stuff. You know, I really sometimes, man, I come home and I don't even feel like gaming. So it's just like you chill out, watch something, relax, eat some ice cream or whatever. You know, just
shout out to Tip Diamond. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
he just said it's the BGS team left a $2 thing. Thank you, Tip. But you haven't been
I'm hoping things pick up though, man. Like you know, we're a month away from Gamescom. Hoping something comes up.
Yeah, well,
You know?
I mean,
I don't know.
I don't think they're having a show, are they?
I think they don't. I think they both don't give a crap about Gamescom. That's the sad thing. They don't like. You might see something big, but I think they can both save it for their end of the year shows. To be honest,
Larry Herb's going. He said he's training for Gamescom right now.
He's training. Like,
that doesn't mean shit after last year.
Well, I mean, he says he's there. I mean, I don't know what that means, but I mean, last year different than this year. Anything, I would welcome a Gamescom thing this year. You know. See what they have.
I hope so, but
I don't think they're going to do anything big either, but I would love to see anything, man. Like, pretty much.
I think I think Xbox itself has some stuff, but when they're going to distribute that to the people, they're probably going to plan that. I think I've said this and I've heard it rumored about too, was that there might be another show like PSX to keep the vibe going and keep the you know, everything going with Xbox. So I see Xbox.
I'm not reading that. I'm not reading that shit.
Oh no, you got to pay the bill, Z.
What bill? You pay it. I ain't paying that shit. I don't see it.
Pay the bill. I saw your face. Hey, hold on. Since Nettles is a broadband bully, I want him to read it. Can you read the
what?
Can you read the pay the bills from Vaughn Lamont, please?
Listen,
Vaughn Lamont with $1.99 says, Z, you got spanked and fight night.
Listen here, man. I had to.
What do you say?
What do I say? I had to throw that bum a bone, man. He was crying.
Listen to that shit.
Soccer couch. I don't know what the fuck going on, bro.
Listen to this. This was popping off. If you've noticed that Z's, he don't have that bass in his voice. It got taken out of him because K Mega put that motherfucking hand of Judah on his ass.
Man,
he come in there, hit me up. I'm like, I'm over here. It's Sunday, the Lord's Day.
I was streaming.
He coming here. He's over here talking crazy. He thought he was just gonna stream and beat my ass.
I saw some of that clips. Did he use a white guy? Use a white guy?
That was his secret weapon.
I used the great white hype.
Got knocked out. He got the great white hype. Still got it.
I used the alt right, man. Kelly Pavlik, man. You know what I mean?
That was Putin's right hand man. So he thought he was gonna stop. He thought he was gonna stop Black man.
But K Mega, did you face King's Blood? Because King's Blood knocked off Z 5 times in a row.
Hey, listen, man,
I don't know who that is right now. After that dude talked to me crazy on that last time.
I've been on the PlayStation, man. I ain't used to that dog shit controller. Give me a chance.
Is that what that is?
That's all it is. I told you, best out of 5. You run that.
How is that game? Is it worth buying?
Oh man, the game is dope, man. The game is dope.
It looks good. I mean,
you never played Fight Night before?
Like,
yeah,
I played it, but I didn't remember it looking like. I saw it and I was like, wow, that looks pretty good. I mean,
it holds up really well.
It just seems like a long time ago. I mean, it's $30, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
It was. I think they had a sale for it for 20, but I think it is up to.
I had it forever. I had it since back then.
$29.99 right now.
I might have to pick that shit up. But Floyd Mayweather with $2 as K Mega. Where do you think Camilo Anthony is going?
I think he's going to go to Houston, but I think that he's going to get traded. I think Preston's going to pull some more magic, and we're going to trade to get some kind of asset, and then they're going to cut him, and then he's going to go to Houston. That's the only best option for New York, because he can't go to LA because you got LeBron playing that position. You already got Ingram. And Carmelo, that's his biggest problem. He's not going to come off the bench. So the best spot for him to go is to the Houston Rockets.
I don't want to. I mean, goddamn, I'd rather go to
with D'Antoni.
Yeah, with D'Antoni. I mean, I know. Yeah, they'll be reunited again. But I mean, they friend.
If you go to Houston, Houston's winning.
No, they're not. They lost their defensive players, man.
What you say?
You know what's sad about that is that when Melo came to New York and kind of like the media felt like we needed a good defensive team, and his style of play was only West Coast style of play, and they took Melo's side because there was a feud and they kind of pushed him out, but in the end, D'Antoni was completely right the way what he was pushing for, and his future NBA became the NBA, and Melo was wrong. So it's weird how that they would come back together. I'm sure they would work it out, but I see Houston too.
Yeah,
I see that happening too.
I'm gonna say this one thing. If we get to the game talk, Tim, you know what happened in New York? You guys traded away all your assets to get him. You just would have waited a year, and you could have got him for nothing. You gave away all that young talent. You had a pretty good team. You had a good team there. You remember? I forgot what certain name starts with a D. You traded everybody to Denver for Carmelo, but you had to wait a year.
They had Felton,
yeah.
They even had Billups. They even had Billups on that team. Iverson on that team.
They traded a lot of people.
They traded away all their shit. If you waited a year, could have got them for nothing.
Denver's back though. Denver's got some great pieces. Defensively, there's still going to be a question mark, but then they also picked up Isaiah Thomas to come off the bench, and he's hungry for a paycheck. So they're going to be the West is going to be really scary. It's going to be really interesting to see what the East is going to do. Who's going to be the king of it? I mean, Boston and Toronto look like that they could be regular season favorites, but I don't know. We'll see.
Knicks a dark horse.
Yeah, like you said, Craps, Craps into basketball, right?
NBA.
I'm into LeBron James losing, so if that counts as being into basketball, then yeah, I just.
Why you don't like LeBron James?
I guess I'm just a hater. You know what I mean? Like I just.
You don't like because I can see why people don't like him.
Well, he's a nice guy, bro.
Here's the thing, right? Like I used to be really into basketball, like in the 90s and stuff. you know, of course, like I was like you, Z. I was a bit of a bandwagon fan. You know,
shit.
Michael Jordan, right? Like I watched True Greatness, man. I watched that man with the flu go out there and perform like I never seen anybody perform, and he always was never like, I don't know, just LeBron just always brags all the time. You know, like I don't like
Jordan
that shit.
was ridiculous.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't think anybody. I don't think any basketball purist can actually come and say that this era of basketball is better than. I know there's some people that are really basketball fans, but there's no way that this era is better than the 80s and 90s. There was just no way. No way.
Yeah, I mean, like
competition was much harder too.
Like I remember like Hakeem Olajuwon and stuff. Like he used to like knock in those shots, and then I always wanted to play center, and I'd always play center like when we did the pickup games and stuff, and try to do those little bank shots and hook shots and stuff. So it was like, you know, like we all used to get around and watch the finals and stuff because the Bulls were, you know, it. And we watch him like beat up on Karl Malone, and you feel bad a little bit for Karl Malone. Yeah, you know, like just and that was kind of fun. Yeah, and it's like I don't think LeBron's bad. I think he's great. I just think that he's kind of a punk.
Damn.
And same thing with like Tom Brady, right? Like I'll never cheer for these guys. Every time they lose a championship, I'm like, and those are supposed to be the greatest of all time, because to me, when you're the greatest, man, you don't blow that opportunity, and then people come up with the excuses. They don't have no help. No help. They ain't got no help. And I'm like, they got there, didn't they? It's a team. You know, come on, get out of here. You know, come on.
But everything is going to. I mean, the playoffs for this will be interesting for the teams that's not going to be playing against Golden State, because Golden State's going to pretty much Thanos everything that's going to come their way and win another.
I don't know.
I mean, picking up Boogie Cousins and
that's
that's crazy, man.
That's very cheesy. That's very cheesy.
Yeah, so but go Rams. You know what I'm saying? Go Rams.
He's like, go Rams.
Let's go. I'll just be worried about. I worry about my Thunder for the next couple of years down the line until Golden State disperse. So go Rams right
Sony
now.
revealed the new PlayStation 4 today.
It's just a different number. It's the same thing.
It's a new
like
PS4 Model C, something revealed by Sony.
Yeah, it's like it's the same thing. I think it probably means that it has a couple component changes inside or whatever. Same price, same everything.
Probably X-Ray. Probably X.
And a new 1 terabyte Glacier White version. You know, Glacier White.
Yeah, it's like in Japan or something. Yeah. Like,
and they're gonna hit what was the goal? Hit 120 million? What the hell they reaching? What they said? Lifetime.
I don't know, man. I think those sales are starting to slow down.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I think they are. Yeah.
What, the PlayStation?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I think they're got to their full potential. I mean, they're still going to sell units, but I think that from you seeing that they're having record numbers, I think that they'll be far in between.
Why you say that? I mean, they still got a lot of still got Spider-Man to come out. They still got
well, no, I know that's what I'm saying. I said far in between. I don't think that the record numbers of sales. I think they'll come more like on like Black Friday or for another big exclusive comes out, something of that nature. But
okay, well, here's the question: what do you think Microsoft sales will finally fucking pick up?
I think they already have picked up. They're doing much better.
I mean,
doing a lot better.
I mean, can they win a fucking NPD?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't think so. I don't know.
Someone has to take the rear. Always Microsoft.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they're doing well by their standards, then I guess that's fine enough for me, man. What should I care?
Yeah, I mean, it's their money. That's what I'm saying. I never give a fuck about the NPDs.
Seems like they're happy with what they're doing. So as long as they're happy, I'm happy, man. They're investing. That's all I care about.
Hey, Tim, as a fan, are you happy, Tim?
What? With I just dropped off for a second with Xbox.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm real happy. I heard some stuff today. They're in a good spot.
They're in a good spot for what? They do what? Get me back on board. Sell me on the Xbox again.
Future tech, consoles, games, content. It's all,
so are you happy for this gen or next gen?
This gen is. I mean, I to be honest, it's hard to say.
It's the same stuff, really. It's the same shit. Like, I don't think that that's going to be really. When you say next gen, that's. I mean, it could be a year away. That's
Xbox.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
but next gen might be 4K 60. I don't know how it's going to break, but I'll tell you much. It's not going to be like these Genesis to N60. You know, those type jumps are gone, like 8-bit to 16-bit.
The reason why that's gone now, Tim, is because we jumped. The last jump that really was impressive was like PS2, Xbox era to 360 era, because it went from standard def to HD, and that helped everything. Right. Now we're seeing better stuff, but it's like a lot of the stuff is like, oh wow, that's cool, but you know, like Rise, when I first saw that, I was like, holy crap, that looks great. You know what I mean? And then there's some stuff that still blows you away, but for the most part, like stuff just looks good no matter what it is.
Yeah, I'll put it this way:
AAA wise, anyway.
The path is now a good path. There were times where Xbox was maybe not in the best shape. Maybe who knows? Might have even been pushed away. You know what I mean? But the way it broke out, looks like Game Pass is. It made Satya happy because he looks at it and basically has Netflix of gaming. You look at Rocket League; it's #1 selling freaking game that it just went into.
Yeah, who the hell would have thought that, huh?
I mean, well, Rocket League's a great game. So
it is
a great game that's going to attract people. I mean, I wasn't the craziest about it. I know, we said soccer cars and stuff like that.
Yeah,
about
it is. Well, it's soccer cars.
That was because they were trying to compare that to AAA, some stuff that we don't do. But it's not a AAA title, but it is a fun title. And
it's a games as a service title. You know what this could do though, Tim? Like having that game in there. And then, they're going to keep they're not making a part 2. They just keep adding content to part 1, and people buy the content and keep playing it. And they do seasons like Fortnite. And so this might draw more developers into doing that with Microsoft, right? Like, Ubisoft, they do a lot of games as a service. Anything that does that, why not put it in there? Because people still have to buy the content to, even if they have Game Pass, you know? So, I mean, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, well, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah. You look though, and you see Rocket League. You say, "Hey, now if you're a third-party publisher and you have a good game, or you're an indie guy, you don't have it. You say, look at this. Maybe we put our game on there. Maybe our sales it'll kick up our sales." And I think that in itself was what makes the model of Game Pass so good. So basically, Big Game Pass broke as a success. And, there's money being funneled through. It all comes down to money. Back in 2017, there was not much money being funneled through or even talked about. Now deals are making move. This is what you want. Now, has Microsoft's fault? Yeah, we went over it 8,000 times. There were times where it was on uneasy grounds. I think you had guys that wanted the division just blown off, I'm not a fan of Meyerson. I don't like the guy. I think that under him he had the wrong vision for Xbox, and he really was the money guy. So in my opinion, I don't think he did a great job. But now the way they're structured is the way it should be. People are in the places that they should be in, and
what place is that? What fucking place is that? On that goddamn ship?
Phil carries the money. And then you have Booty making the games.
Booty's booty. Boo.
Booty's the booty. But the bottom line is that you asked me how Xbox is, I'm very happy.
Oh. Right.
They're not a concern at all.
I think a lot of people are excited about Xbox right now because of time. Yeah, the momentum is here. Everything is going. I mean, it seemed like it was kickstarted when the Xbox One S came out, and then after the beginning of the year, it just fizzled out because you heard about. I think that's when Scalebound happened, and then then everything turned to shit again. So the momentum is here. They're being quiet. That's another thing that I like about it. There's not a lot of leaks, which means that they got stuff. They're keeping it close to vest, which means that it's going to only just make more exciting news once we all find out what they're going to be doing. So,
sorry.
Bless you.
Bullshit. I'm sorry. I'm allergic to bullshit. I'm allergic to bullshit. I'm sorry. I do apologize. But I guess
when are they gonna make you happy? The only time is when you see Gears. So
here's the thing. Hey, Tim, I'm gonna cut this shit. I'm gonna get the biggest knife in the drum. I'm gonna cut the bullshit out, right? And you guys don't have to question my integrity. I'm just being real. If we're gonna say next generation is gonna start 2020, 2019, somebody's launching next year. Somebody's kickstarting this race, right? And I'm just from the mindset again that they need something besides Gears and Forza leading up to next generation. Now if they can, these students.
Well, I mean, they're gonna have Fable. They're gonna have other stuff too. Whatever
so.
Ninja Theory's working on.
I hope so, Tim.
Yeah.
And listen, in the perfect world, you're absolutely right. I would hope that Fable would be there. But again, how long have we been asking for? Goddamn, what do you call it? Not Double Dragon, Battletoads. Like damn. Now you give it to us in 20. We asked for this shit to 2014. You give it to us in 2018. You know what I mean? They just, I don't know. I asked Rand. Me and Rand did a show or something one day last week, and I asked him, "Do you think Microsoft has to acquire or buy a huge multi-platter or something to fill that void leading up to next generation?" if they're really serious about gaming or whatever the case, like you guys don't feel that way, they can just say they
well, that's a ballsy move. That's a ballsy
move. They did it with
Titan.
They did it with Titanfall. You know what I mean? Or they did it with Splinter Cell, like they used to do. Like they would open a checkbook up, Splinter Cell Conviction, console exclusive. I mean, they need.
I like that they got the studios personally. I think.
Oh, that's they need that again.
You're saying in addition to.
Yeah, because
I mean, listen, they're not going to do that, but that is definitely
but be honest, but that's something they need to do because again, we're talking about for the next 2 years. Our shit
well, it might be PUBG, but who the fuck cares? Excuse my language, but who cares?
You know what I mean? But that's we still just got Gears.
It could be PUBG. Yeah, I could see them buying PUBG now.
I mean, yeah, it's like I don't know, like I think Microsoft does things.
They'll redo PUBG. They'll redo the engine. They'll just redo the game now. Is that exciting for you guys? To be honest,
I don't know. I mean, I'm waiting for the game to get completely fixed for me to jump back in.
They're gonna redo the game. They're just gonna redo it. Probably the same type of game, but
then it'll draw some better interest in what I have for it right now.
They do things that don't get them criticism. I think if you buy an established IP already, that'll get them unneeded criticism, and so I don't think that they would do that. Especially since they're probably going to buy a couple more studios at least. You know what I mean? And there could be something like
one of them.
Okay,
Remedy could be one of them, and then you got a couple of you got a couple more IPs to add to the situation.
It's going to be a game that they have a relationship with the developer. That's like I think a smaller type game. Like I could see like that skateboarding game Session. Like them buying somebody like that, like they're gonna buy a studio, but they're also gonna buy they could buy an IP that they know is gonna be successful. So that's the way I look at it. I don't think they're gonna buy like Obsidian.
Do you think that they would try? Well, that would be crazy if they bought.
I know everyone
because that would shut down everything about single player experiences because they would be touching pretty much.
I think they buy 3 more. I think they buy 1 AAA and then 2 smaller ones.
Right, and that's what I was going to say. Out of the 2, could it be the makers of Ori and Cuphead?
Moon and MDHR.
Tom said no. I asked that question. Tom Muller said publicly he's not selling, and I have good connects. That is not happening.
Who are they? Moon Studios.
Yeah, I know people in Moon Studios, and I've asked that question.
What does Moon Studios make? What do they make?
Tom Muller,
Forest.
Tom Muller, the guy, already came out and said that they're not for sale. They want to be independent. You're gonna get some developers that don't want that, so that don't want to be bought, and they're one of them. So
well, then
like Insomniac's one of them. They don't want to be bought either. Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay, so then that leads to just saying, okay, the one main missing ingredient. Other than I think a good
developers.
I say a Japanese developer. I say get a Japanese developer. I say go and get a Japanese developer. Some Tecmo, whatever. Go.
You know what might be easier. You know what might be easier, K Mega, is if they open their own Japanese studio over there. Okay. You know what I mean? Like I think that might be something that they could pull off. Maybe a little. Because I know it's a weird situation Yeah, it's a weird situation to buy a Japanese company. Like you got to go through some things. So
they already got a company. They already got because I showed something about that because I was having a discussion with somebody on Twitter about it, and I showed that that one of the things that they had to do was have stocks in Japan, and they also had to have a business, and they do have both, and they also have something else that could have them go and acquire a company. But yeah, I get it. I mean, if they could get the
they gotta have the studio. Well. I agree with I think that if they're gonna buy something Japanese, have a studio there and have the Japanese people make the games and kind of like the mindset that you have with Santa Monica. You have like the Santa Monica studio. They want the greatest, brightest brains. Or devs. The same thing with Japanese. If you want Japanese good games, you should just probably have a studio there and just call.
Yeah. All right, hold on. Peter Bills. Oh, somebody see it. Peter Bills post.
Post up.
Yeah. Oh, you see it? Yeah. Hold on. Let me see. All right, I've just seen it pop on OBS. She said, buying a game is a short-term solution to a long-term issue. Buying studios will help them over the long term and will allow them to get a better return on their investment. True.
True.
Listen, post. Here's the thing. I'm not negating that they need studios. This is something that should have happened last generation. And again, kudos for them going out and again, said better late than never. But I'm just saying again, I don't think they should end this generation on such a low note. And with you know what I mean, that's all that I'm saying. We talking about because it's already been 2.5 years since we really had something AAA wise. I mean, people would rather Sea of Thieves is not my type of game, whatever. It didn't make the big impact like a Gears, Forza, Halo. And we talking about another, maybe 2 years and still nothing. That's what I'm saying. Maybe they.
Well, no, I mean we're gonna get Gears 5, or we're gonna get Gears next year.
Right.
Gears. And
we're gonna get. I mean, we'll get Crackdown. You know, we'll get some stuff in between there as well. Like Phil said that
there's gonna be a Forza. I don't think there's gonna be a Forza next.
There's gonna be no Forza 8 next year. I know that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that's a huge issue though.
Floyd Mayweather said, which is a good point here. He said Microsoft should have bought THQ, Capcom,
like I said,
and Sega.
Well, I mean, yeah, but that's according to
those Japanese. It's hard to buy Japanese companies. It's
it's hard to take them over.
See, I think the biggest thing is if you're going to buy a Japanese company, you have to, you know. Well, I think they would. They should be in Japan.
By the way, I also have to point this out. Buying Sega.
That's what Yoshida said. Is that in the 3 weeks? Sorry to interrupt, but he did make that point. He pointed that out specifically.
Sega's a publisher. They do have some studios, but it's like you still have to have people to make the games.
I would rather them have a partnership, like for the rumors of what we've seen that the devs for Yakuza saying that they would definitely be into wanting to send the Yakuza to the Xbox and most likely like Persona as well. So I think that's the better solution with Sega. For me, I would, but they're all leaving though at BioWare. I would say if you're going to go after somebody, man, go after the people that go after BioWare from EA. But those guys are all leaving. They're pretty much. I think they're done with EA. They just want to start doing their own thing. So, which is very unfortunate.
You guys snatched them up though.
You know, it's funny that you bring up Yakuza. We weren't talking pre-show. We were talking about the pre-news. That was big news during the or something. I do think that well, people say, well, why didn't you get it on PlayStation?
PlayStation,
You know, the reason why is first of all, I think that the game will sell good on Xbox, and it's good for the platform. It's a Japanese games that we're lacking in, and it's also I do think that that genre would sell. So that's good, and it opens up Xbox for more games. But overall, I also had people hit me up saying, you know, we really want this game on it, Xbox. So you know, I mean, for me, it's a good push, and I think that if it comes to Xbox, it will it will sell.
Yeah, I mean, just look at look at Hellblade, but Hellblade's not Japanese. But look at Nier Automata. And then Yakuza,
Monster Hunter.
Yeah, Monster Hunter was the biggest
Put it
surprise.
that way. I think it'll be better than Nier.
I do too.
Yeah. Not only that,
it's a good, also a very good Game Pass game too.
Yeah, it takes away one of those list war games as well. If you take away those third-party Japanese games that Sony had, that really makes it a lot more even.
Gotten in it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you do think about it, man, the Yakuzas, the Personas, those aren't. The Sony didn't make any of those. You know, the Ni no Kunis. They didn't make any of that stuff.
If I could get a third party on
I would love for Ni no Kuni to come.
Hey, I got to be clear. I don't particularly want to play that stuff. I'm just.
Bring my Ni no Kuni to the Xbox.
I'm just all for.
I don't care about Ni no Kuni, but a game like Yakuza to me, I see a match. Put it that way. Certain games like Nier. That game probably just did. I don't know. It was number 3 on the digital thing. It didn't really set the world on fire. It set the world on fire on PlayStation. But again, they have a lot of those fans, and it's because they have these deals. So if you could start cutting into those deals, get Yakuza signed, you get another something signed. I think that's another option that Xbox has to push. Because when it all comes down to it, if they have the same games and they just have different exclusives, Xbox is wiping the floor with Sony. I mean, you look at the stuff that Xbox is coming out just on a daily basis with all everything that they're pushing for. Okay. If everything's equal, you know, it's online better. Controller, it's debatable, but I think a lot of people like the Xbox controller a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
Games, that's subjective, but as long as you're pushing out. And then everything else, I mean,
it's, at the end of the day, I give them the first the features. That's Microsoft's strong suit. Hold on one second. Let me pay the bills. Predator H2O, shout out to you, good brother. He says they need to grab Mistwalker Studios, Blue Dragon, Lost Odyssey, things like that. If they want to get a foothold in Japan. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah.
But they need people to work in Japan. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You would need to have like a Microsoft Japan studio, and it'd be located there, so you can get the people that live in Japan that are developers to make games. It's also good for a lending hand, and let's be honest, people don't buy Xbox in Japan. Maybe if you have some workers there, some people that actually work for Xbox, people might be a little bit more open to the console.
I just want to add real quickly. In all honesty, I find it really hard for Microsoft to be able to buy a Japanese studio because, first of all, it have to be ran in Japan. And honestly, tell you, they would only sell to another Japanese company. They would not sell to Microsoft. So, they could probably get some type of time deal for their console, but I think it's a pipe dream thinking they'll be able to buy any type of Japanese studio.
Hold up. And Floyd Mayweather, shout out to you again, good brother. He says, I think Platinum doesn't want to be bought.
No, they said after the situation with them and Microsoft,
they said what's it called game? What's the goddamn game?
Scalebound?
Yeah, almost put them out of business.
Yeah,
they pulled the plug. They said it wasn't for near all the money, they'd have been out of business, baby. Shit, not near all the money in the rest of the games that they put out instead of worried about Scalebound like they were supposed to. But regardless, they're kind of upset with all the publishers out there, but they know that they still have to work with them. But no, they would never. I don't see them would ever get bought by anybody. I think they like their independence.
I think that's a very unlikely thing, but I do think it's something that could diversify them a little bit more. It's not necessarily a bad thing but it's also something that money might be there too. It might not be, they could spend a little money, but in my opinion, what I see in the games or the studio is you're going to get a studio, and it's
the ninjas got him.
Yep, there you go.
Oh, he's back.
What?
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I think that the IP. I think that the IP matters. I'm getting phone calls.
That's Phil.
So
that's Phil calling you right now.
That's Phil. Yeah, he told me he just signed Rocket League.
Another Crackdown delay. What's going on?
Rocket League 2 is going to be exclusive to the Switch and Xbox and crossplay.
Oh shit.
Nice.
Oh, crossplay. That's nice, man.
He's keeping it off PlayStation because they have to save the children over there. They can't.
They do.
So Phil's being a good guy.
A humanitarian. But I guess we get into a little bit of bad Sony news. Sony pulled the dick move and they banned the player account for a 360 meme.
Yes.
Yeah.
What the hell was that about?
I don't know. You the pony resident here.
Listen, man, I don't follow bad PlayStation news. I only the good shit here.
I don't know what the heck happened with that either.
Okay, so you guys remember the 360 meme? My dad works for Microsoft. He's gonna ban you, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So someone said that on PlayStation, and then they got banned. So they lose all their digital games and all that kind of stuff. And he lost the appeal multiple times through Sony. So it's done.
Over a game. He was
over a meme. Yeah.
He was whooping the dude's ass, and the dude started bitching and saying bad stuff to him, and then he posted that meme to him, and then they reported him, and Sony took advantage of it. Like I mean, I don't know that's very anti-consumer. You know what I'm saying? That's ridiculous.
Listen, I've always said, to be honest with you, I would never go all digital on my PlayStation. I can't do that. When it comes to customer service, I will give Microsoft that they are leaps abound ahead of Sony. They would give you your actual money back. Sony would just give you credit towards PlayStation money or whatever. But that does suck. At the end of the day, that's some really, really shitty shit. You know what I mean? Horrible. Shame.
Yeah, I got the thing right here.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
So it's basically this meme right here where it just shows like, I'm going to get you banned. My dad works for Microsoft. So the guy sends the dude the message of the thing when he says, I work for Sony. And this is what got him banned.
Wow.
This short little thing here is what got him banned, and they won't give back his account.
So his Epic account or his whole goddamn PlayStation account?
No, his whole PlayStation account.
Wow.
Yeah, I think his whole PlayStation account's gone.
Oh, I thought it was just the Epic account.
No, it's his whole PlayStation account. It shut down.
Damn.
So and he can't recoup his games or you know what I'm saying, the money that he put into those games like that.
See, now that to me Is that true that he can't recoup his games?
You can't. Once
if it's digital like that, no. That's it.
That to me is completely overboard. If that it goes with Xbox too, it's the same. Because you've bought those games. You didn't buy the network. You didn't buy that whatever. You own those games.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
they're like, you don't own anything now.
I've heard that they actually do that you don't get your games.
Yeah.
Wow. What the hell they reselling?
Yeah, didn't they brick a couple of people's PlayStations for like names and stuff like that? Like there was one guy that had a Muslim name and they bricked his PlayStation, stuff like that.
No,
so I mean,
they
what
was account.
What kind of court did he take it to?
I guess he appealed. I guess he appealed. You know, you can appeal whatever online.
He probably appealed on part. He probably haven't took it to court yet.
No,
so he knows. So he,
I did that.
Yeah, he needs to take that to court. He would set a precedent for that actually, because in all honesty,
I mean, how the hell do you say that you own the license?
You own the game, right? So they can ban you from the network. They do have the right to do that, but they
you still own rights to those games. Yeah,
you own the rights to that game.
Then
so all the games,
this is some kind of pudding rule.
Hey,
so at the very least,
fucking pudding.
At the very least, they should refund him his, what he paid for his catalog of games. And we know Sony don't do refunds. So if I was him, I would take it straight to court. To be honest with you, and I'd sue their ass.
Right. Like, I mean, but if this is a kid and he doesn't have the money like that, but if this story got enough traction, I'm sure that there'll be a lawyer that would take his case.
First, you got to see if we have to get explicit information. If they really took his game and he cannot access his game, that is, I don't care if you sign maybe you sign a disclaimer. If that's in it, that has to be, I have 616 games.
Yep.
If I did something like that, you're going to tell me that, and it's questionable that what you did, you're going to tell me I can't access my games, even the single player ones? Yeah. To me, that's that's not normal. I think that should definitely, that will get, the judge will judge in favor of that.
But maybe they get in with the user agreement that you sign with the update, that the user, no one reads.
The EULA that everyone says that,
Yeah, the fine print.
Yeah, that no one reads the user agreement, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like somebody in the chat saying that he broke the terms of service, and then somebody else said digital games are licensed, which we know that if your account is banned, you lose the rights to those games. Same thing would happen on the on Microsoft account. But the fact of it is, he's right to that point. Microsoft wanted to be a dick like that and say, well, you're banned on this, but the difference is Microsoft is a hell of a lot more lenient when it comes to customer service, and they're just better at it. You know what I'm saying? That's just,
I'll say this though, regardless if it's in that agreement or not, I still think that's illegal, because you own the copy of that game.
Right. Yeah. And they say that when you read the fine print, like every time that you see, like especially like on a online game or whatever, they'll go in, they'll get into the point of saying that you own a percentage of that game because you purchased that game. You know what I'm saying? You don't own the full rights, but you own a percentage of that game for purchase, for help buying that game for them to make money. So therefore, you should recoup those games back. Like, yeah, you can take it to court and you can get your stuff back, but it's how much money are you going to spend, and compared to a big conglomerate company that has billions of dollars. But I don't know, man. A
smart lawyer would take that case pro bono, because Absolutely. In all honesty, he could get a lot of money out of it.
Well, hold on.
I think they'd win. Oh, well, you know what? They put. You know what the thing is that if that becomes public news, and then people see this, and then you get some report, you're signing away your games when you sign the EULA on Sony, and that becomes a bad thing for them. They'll ante up. They should, and this goes with Microsoft too. If you buy something, you should have that something to play. That's a game that you bought. I understand if you don't want me on your network, that's fine. Well, let me play my games, or put me on a network where I can't interact with anybody and at least play my games, because I purchased those games. Right. And when I purchased 600 of them or whatever, now you're talking about whatever, $30,000. That's not right, especially when the banning of this is questionable at the very least.
Hold up.
Yeah.
So you can't, if they should deal with this guy. What I would do is I would get in contact with the guy if I was Sony, and I would say, listen, we'll give you a new account with your games. You just will lose all your membership, and we'll call it a day.
Hold on, but
that's what they should do.
Gamer M says, shout out to Gamer M. He says, claiming to work for Sony or Microsoft is fraud, right?
I mean, that's I mean,
it was a joke.
If it's a kid saying it, like, come on.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like, I mean, you got freedom of speech. You know what I'm saying? You got the First Amendment. You know what I'm saying? And this kid was American, I'm assuming, so he has the First Amendment right to say whatever. If they wanted to hold that against him, then that means he would be talking to somebody that worked for Sony, not just another individual. Then I could see maybe that being part of an issue, but he was just talking to another gamer, you know what I'm saying, and then put that shit up. So I find that to be really questionable on what the person that said that in the chat.
The whole thing is that they should have something in place with digital gamers. I mean, we're at the point where, you know, it's not 2013 where everyone's disc. Everyone owns the digital. Even freaking crap gamers freaking at digital now.
Most of my stuff, it's crazy.
You should have some protection on that, or you know, especially games. You should have some way of you own that, and I don't think it can be just signed off as it's just an agreement with your company with a license. You own the license. As to me, that license is to be enjoyed, and if I'm paying for your network, that's something different. You know what I mean? You can keep me off your network, but that's my own goods somehow, even if it's with limited online interactivity, or you know, I should be able to play a puzzle game that needs no connection if I bought it. Something you have to, in my opinion, come up with something fair.
Yeah, and what people in the chat
or like this guy should just take a freaking pro bono case. Maybe a lawyer comes along and take him to court, because once it becomes news and there's a ruling on that, and if it went bad in Sony, that's not a good thing. It'll blow up in people's faces. And all you have to do is really just handle your shit better, and just, you know, maybe talk to the customer and
fuck Sony.
There's been a lot of times where Sony had these things.
Right, and this could be another lawsuit that they could lose too. So I mean, it is what it is.
I've had situations, and I'm not tooting my own horn, but I have situations where there was a big situation that came up, or someone said something. You know, Microsoft had this happen, and I told certain people, and they looked into it, and they got it rectified. You know what I mean? Somebody wasn't getting their reward, so you know, once somebody wasn't getting their rewards, and it built up to like $1,000. And I got somebody to release his account. But there were other things, like sometimes, you know, if something like that came up, you should be able to handle within your community, or the Sony should, you know, to get that guy take care of. But.
Hold up, Von Lamont said that's why I don't use voice chat or trash talk online.
I don't use.
If you have 5 people that are against you, some kids and thing, and then they all say you use the N-word, and they all report you, but you really didn't, because they're just trying to get you banned, and then you lose all your games because that just happens. How is that fair?
Right, it's not. But that's why I stay in parties. I just mostly stay in parties. I don't really get out and talk. I'll do just public game chat.
Listen, I talk shit. I'm a lot better than I used to be. I talk shit whether I'm winning, whether I'm losing. I'm gonna talk shit today. That's what I do. I pop shit to swallow spit. But this here is a little extreme. I got to say, if this is what really happened, if this is all that what happened, and this got his account revoked, banned for took his games, this is wrong. I was read something that Maslin said that you technically don't own the game; you're leasing the games with the license.
That's what I'm now. It's a car lease. Yeah, sounds like a pudding rule.
You know what I mean? I like the, you know what I mean? The have the put under the Obama administration.
I gotta own something. I don't gotta own the license. I mean, I don't know. It's just why shouldn't that be a one-on-one thing if I buy some from
see, they be getting back into the DRM and stuff.
I'm gonna go to the left here. Sorry, man. I gotta ask you guys because I'm Canadian, and so you know I have a different perspective on it, and y'all are American. And I want to know what the hell you think about what went down today. That's all I want to know.
Oh, I mean, come on, man! Don't do that, because you know what I'm saying. I'm going to lose subs. I'm going to lose Trump fans. I'll listen. It was absolutely dog shit. The man is absolutely he's turned this country into the laughingstock of the world. Like, I understand. Look, I don't have a problem with him going to talk to Putin. You know what I'm saying? If you wanted to try to get into relations, but the stuff that he is saying, like I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at it right now. He said something about nuclear war if Mueller keeps on with this indictment. Are you what? Like really? Like I don't know, man. Look, he's you know what I'm saying. I'm not like one of those people that says, well, he's not my president. He is my president. You know what I'm saying? Because he's our American president. I'm American, but I can't wait till his ass is gone, man. I mean, people just need to get their ass out and vote. Get this dude out of here, man.
Oh man,
Jesus Christ!
Crap me this mic. Crap ain't got no goddamn comment. Crap me this goddamn mic. Hey, Crap, get your fuck ass back on the mic. Hey, Crap, get your fat ass back on the mic. Don't pull that mic muted shit.
Oh shit!
Yeah, Crap muted this motherfucking mic. You know what I'm saying?
Crap sitting up there eating Papa John's right now. He ain't want to talk about nobody.
Crap got some motherfucking Papa John's. He ain't talking about that motherfucking Trump shit.
Oh man!
Trump,
you know what? This is what happens though when you have no news. We're really struggling.
We're struggling today, baby.
This just proves to you that people will just talk about anything. It's just when you don't have any gamers the way we are, we want news, but when there's no news, we just stir. Wait for the next stuff.
Oh shit, man, my man Crap got it. Crap, give me no motherfucking megatons for about 3 o'clock in the morning. You got something for me, Crap? Crap still got his shit muted. He said, man, I'm not listening. I'm not talking to you. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you.
I can't hear you.
No, I was checking out. I was watching Raw. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I'm not touching you.
No, Brock Lesnar didn't show up, but Heyman showed up, and so yeah, it's like, you know, it's one of those. Hold on, I'll find us something. Damn it!
I got something. How about that goddamn Switch, huh?
That dog Switch is beasting, man, huh?
Screens cracking. Ooh. Nintendo ain't fixing shit. Come on now.
They do got. What do they got? This one game. I forget what the hell it's called, but it's all the rage now.
What's called the who?
I forget what the hell the name of the game is.
Octopath?
Yeah, Octopath.
Octopath.
Octopath Traveler.
Yeah, it's cracking, it's cracking people's screens.
It's a turn-based role-playing game developed by Square Enix, published by Nintendo for the Switch, and apparently this game's like selling out all over the world.
Really?
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, even Mooch is trying to get he's trying to mooch it. Apparently it's base. It looks like almost shit.
Wow, GameStop game 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah, you can't. It's like you can't. This game's it's a JRPG, and it's
Nintendo game.
Yeah, it's exclusive.
Yeah,
I can't get with that Nintendo shit.
Exclusive, 9.5.
It's Square.
Square Enix
and
Jason Shearer jerk off likes it.
Okay, here's the thing, right? Here's a question.
It's a stylized RPG.
Which is cool, right?
Yeah.
So Square Enix published it, right? Now, so we're not talking about cutting edge graphics, nothing like Final Fantasy 15, anything, or 14, whatever last one.
Well, it looks.
No, you would never play this game.
Cool. I'm just saying. Listen, you see a game like that selling out all over the world, right? Good shit, right? Why can't Microsoft do a deal like that with Square Enix or buy Windows? I don't know, maybe that game costs about $50,000 to make it that, just for shits and giggles.
It's a Japanese game, I guess.
But if you're talking about something selling out all over the world, a niche. I mean, if I don't know. Look.
Okay, so Square Enix issues an apology after underestimating huge Octopath Traveler demand, selling well and selling out. So.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I just I don't know. I'm sorry.
People would dog this game though. Like, I mean, people would dog except for RPG purists. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. Like, you would look at this game, like I would look at it like I play this, but it wouldn't be something I would go bragging about. Like, oh man, this game right here is the truth. I would say that I like the game, that it's cool, it's fun, but I mean. You know what I'm saying? It's just hit and miss. I mean, in this Nintendo, man, I just think I don't even think like if this game was on PlayStation as an exclusive, it would get a lot of buzz. It would be put in those lists, but it wouldn't get all the buzz like it's getting here. It's just I think it's more just what Nintendo does, and their fan base just they just excited for everything that they do.
You got a question for you, Megan? You see it, Floyd Mayweather, or not already?
Oh, hold on. Let me go back. I was away from it.
Yeah.
Okay. What did he say?
It says, "K-Maker, would you like it if K-Maker, would you like it if I guess NES and PS1 games JRPGs?" I don't.
Oh yeah, man. Like, let me see. Final Fantasy VII was like not one of the first ones, but it was Wild Arms was the first RPG that I played back in the days on the PS1. damn it, I'm trying to think of that one that some lagoon. Not it was, there was two different lagoons, but there was the one where these guys they would fight, they would punch, and it was turn-based, and you would fight, and the main guy had like short hair, and he would run up, and he had a little chick, and they had this big buff guy. I can't think of the game. I've named it a million times, but I just can't think of it off the top of my head right now. That was my shit. I love that. I like Fire Emblem. There's a ton of RPGs that I played that I like, but yeah, if they would come to the Xbox, that would be huge. That would be massive. I would love for them to do that. Like, especially if Nintendo and Xbox is working on something together, bring some of those old games to come up in there and be popped up in Game Pass, or at least, you know what I'm saying, have a little Nintendo section. That'd be dope.
Okay. Well, I don't know. That's not for me, but I'm just saying a game like that is selling out all over the world. I think it again, this being Microsoft's third generation.
I would
do moves like that.
I would give it a try. I mean, I'm looking at it. The graphics are, it's like a little girl. I don't even know what's going on. It looks like an old game.
But
probably good though.
Hold on.
Getting scores like that.
He said, Dirk Griggity, right? He said, I would really love a vintage BGST with Zaire loving Xbox disrespected pony, hyping up DX12 in the cloud. Damn, I miss those days. Listen here, man. It's because of the cloud and DX12 I no longer believe in Jesus. I've lost my way religiously, man. I done sold 4K. I got to pay for those sins, brother. Atonement is here. You know what I mean? I pray to God that Kratos forgives me, man.
What about that Joe Montana?
Yeah, play some knack. You'll feel you'll be compelled to go
he said
back.
The power of Christ, the power of PlayStation compels you. You know what I mean? But listen, that's not that I'm always down on Xbox. When they got something good, I'll call a spade a spade. They ain't got no goddamn games right now outside of Gears of War and Halo. And of course, the multiplats. I love here's here for the record. I think the Xbox X is the best console on the market. The features and stuff that they can do, kudos. But the Xbox doesn't have the best games right now. I mean, if that makes it, we're just talking about games. Now, all this is subjective, but we're just talking about games. Sea of Thieves, I've always never been a fan of Sea of Thieves. State of Decay, I thought it would be something bigger than what it was. And you know how I feel about the Disney Rush and Zoo Tycoons and all that shit. I didn't slid into a coma, you know what I mean? And I just want more. I want more for you guys. Listen, I'm carrying the cross, man. I'm doing this for you guys, man.
I don't think the people in the chat anymore are, for the most part, are even Xbox dude. They're mostly PlayStation dudes. So they don't really care, dude. They're like,
they don't. Oh, I had both games mixed up because I'm looking at the list right now. Legend of Legaia, that was my shit. I hate that PlayStation haven't even thought about bringing that game back, man. I would buy that in a heartbeat.
Did you guys get that? They put that NES Classic back up for sale. I finally got one of those. That's cool.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that Red Dragon was showing that he got that.
Yeah, I got that.
Could I forget about Xenogears, man? Xenogears was the shit too. I don't know what that's another great RPG. I don't know how many people played that, but that was Xenogears. That shit was.
How about this, right? Hey, I got a no-brainer, right?
Dope.
And I see somebody in the chat. Like, you look at, again, we talking about RPGs and stuff. The original Xbox had a bunch of shit. Otagi, why they go back and remaster some of that shit? Sadeki, awesome. That's old school right there. Bitch with the fucking, I don't know what the Doom chucks. That was ill. Classic RPG. I don't know if you guys ever played Sadeki. I'm taking it back. That was an original Xbox. They had a lot of unique goddamn IPs that they can fucking, I don't know if they got still the licensing or whatever the fuck the case may be. I don't know if some of them companies are still in fucking business, but if they're not, question their level free check, buy the goddamn IP. You know what I mean? Because some, I mean, my opinion,
I would love to see
they would stand the test. Even a Jade Empire, what I mean, just to get
that's BioWare though.
I have a question now. It's just completely. It's about ray tracing. What do you think the chances of next gen using ray tracing is? And what if Xbox is going to be getting a new tech? What could that mean? What could that be?
Tim, we use ray tracing now. Xbox One X can do ray tracing exclusively on the Xbox One X. Dolby Vision exclusive on the Xbox One X. We've got everything exclusive to the Xbox One X. You want it on PS4? Too bad. You can't have it. It's exclusive to the Xbox One X, bitch. Yeah.
All right.
Oh man, the Xbox Overlord is in the house. I love it.
Thank you. I just wanted to say we're putting a new guy in the BGST, and that is Xbox Overlord. Thank you for your gracing us, Xbox Overlord. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Hey, hold on. He says K-Maker, for some reason, Sony doesn't want to do those.
Because it probably doesn't generate enough money. I mean, look, Sony has been really smart about what they want with their placement of games. They'll throw in some filler, games they know that they won't really sell, but for them to want to bring out any of those titles that I brought up, then they would have to put in a lot of money for it, and they probably wouldn't recoup the same benefit like they would if they brought in a Last of Us or another God of War, things like that. So I think it's just them just being smart with their business. I think it's sad because I know a lot of PlayStation fans want to see a Siphon Filter or games like Altered Beast, shit like that. But they're just not going to do it. They're just not going to do it. It's sad, man. It's sad.
I want to answer Tim Dog's question here. What are you saying?
Hold on. Answer the question.
All right, let me hear you. You're technical.
Wait, hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second.
Is it going to be in?
These guys, we said, when is Final Fantasy VII remake coming? I think they just start from
next generation.
Next generation. I say next generation. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. Next generation. I'll say that too. They take Square.
Who the hell knows? Sony won E3 with it though. That's how E3
But it's coming to Xbox Overlord. Hey, Xbox Overlord. What do you think about Final Fantasy VII remake coming to the Xbox?
Oh crap! You passed up Overlord.
The Overlord's gone.
The Overlord left us. He's already left us.
Hey, now talking about 2D RPGs, I guess.
We get all the JRPGs now. I bought them all. We're getting.
Why does Overlord?
We're getting all of them. You name it, we're getting it. I make deals. I cut deals with Sega. I cut deals with Capcom. I cut deals with all of those companies, and we're going to be bringing them home to the Xbox One X, where they play best, where they look best, where they are best.
Okay, let me ask you one more question, Overlord.
Go ahead.
Will you ever do any work with Platinum Games ever again?
Platinum Games can go to hell, but yes, we will work with Platinum Games because we are the best. And in fact, we might even buy Platinum Games because that would really piss off the PlayStation fanboys. Just like it pissed them off when we bought Ninja Theory. Suck on that. Ninja Theory making Xbox exclusives. I'm giving you the double barrel right now, bitches.
Thank you, Overlord. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.
Yeah. Ray tracing.
Overlord. We need just a new account. You have to start with the two.
Ray tracing.
No, till we get to the ray tracing. No more. Xbox Overlord. Go have a drink. D. I want to hear what you has to say on Xbox.
That's
hella funny, man.
Do you think it'll be there? Do you think it'll be?
He asked if you think that ray tracing will be there for the next box or whatever. Some shit.
Yeah, I think ray tracing will be there for the next generation because Microsoft's already out touting it. They're working with NVIDIA right now to do the implementation of ray tracing on NVIDIA's hardware using DX12. And AMD has gone on the record to also say that they will be working with Microsoft to do ray tracing on their hardware as well. So, of course, we know the next gen systems are going to have AMD in there. So I can't see it not being in there because the next generation is going to last, let's say, minimum 3 to 4 years. And ray tracing is going to be a big thing with the next PC GPUs coming out. The next NVIDIA GPU is going to have it for sure. And I'm going to assume the next AMD hardware is going to have it as well. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a big part. Now, I don't think – now, here's the kicker. I don't know if Sony's going to have it because ray tracing right now is baked into DX12, and Sony does not use that API. They use their own API. So I don't know if that'll be a thing on the PlayStation 5 side. I'm not saying it's not possible because it does have AMD hardware.
Can you explain
but I don't know.
Can you explain to even myself and the panel what and people listening what do you understand of it, or does anybody have any understanding of what it really is?
What, ray tracing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, ray tracing it basically generates the image by tracing the real light path of the pixels. So basically, it's giving you real light reflections. So the light will bounce around like how it's supposed to bounce around, and it'll bounce around the images the way it's supposed to bounce around, and it'll just look a lot more realistic because it'll look like you're looking at real shit.
So what you're basically saying is the fucking cracking won't be lacking with ray tracing. Is this what you're telling me?
Ray tracing will make a big difference in the environment because the lights will be real lights. So they'll how it would cast on plastic is how it's really gonna look. It's gonna look just like that because they're tracing the path of the light.
Well, I mean,
interesting.
I guess we'll probably be talking about as far as the next generation Xbox 2 or whatever the hell it's going to be, or PlayStation 5. You guys not expecting a huge leap, or you just?
I don't know if you guys did. You guys see the I actually did a video a few months ago. Did you guys see that one where you see the ray tracing from the NVIDIA event?
I did.
Yeah.
I watched it. I
it was Star Wars.
I watched all three. It was like 3 little demos. They were all.
Yeah.
So you see how the light was bouncing off of the.
And that's what's coming to consoles next generation.
Well, I don't know how much.
DICE is already working on a game right now. The Don has brought that up.
I know Remedy is
in that article.
Remedy is working on it.
Yeah,
Remedy is, but they're doing it within a demo. It's not like going to be a real game. It's gonna be
now to be fair, the ray tracing that I showed in the video on that NVIDIA hardware, that's like a super system. Don't expect it to look like that. But
let me ask you a question. So, to me, what I kind of get is that Xbox ray tracing is what Xbox was looking at the cloud way back. They see a lot of potential in it. When we say cloud destruction, what we thought Crackdown 3 was. Now, how much would it take to run that type of system? Because you're talking about, it sounds like it's a lot of power to run that. So with that being the question is, how many teraflops do you think that the next generation GPUs for their graphics card for the Xbox would be around?
Well, I think the next Xbox, if I had to guess,
run it, if they're gonna run it, because I heard people say you can't run it; it's too intense.
No, they wouldn't be able to run it.
Away.
They wouldn't be able to run it.
That was 10 years. That was like 6 years ago. They said it was 10 years away.
They wouldn't be able to run it the way that we saw it in that NVIDIA demo because that was using like 6 or 7 Turing GPUs. So that's a lot of. I don't know if it was like fucking 100 teraflops or some shit, but it was some outrageous number. So no, they won't be able to run the ray tracing completely like that, but they'll be able to use certain elements of it, right? But I think the next Xbox, I think it'll be about 10 teraflops. I think it'll be about 10.
At least 10.
Yeah.
11 if they're really stretching it, but I would expect it to be about 10 teraflops.
I'll tell you, they're confident as hell though. They think that they, or at least the idea I get from them is that they can't be taken out on power. So I don't know if they're gonna go completely
balls to the wall.
Balls to the wall, take money, or they're gonna
don't forget about DirectX 12.
Okay, let me ask you a question, Tim, because you haven't been on the show in a while. We talked about this last week. We can probably close it with this and what you guys think about Crackdown, about them not, whatever. But if again, now before when I was on that fucking Xbox hype juice, I was saying that maybe they shouldn't. It's a good thing for them not, no generation left behind, no gamer left behind. But I don't feel that way anymore. When the Xbox, whatever comes out. I don't want, when I buy, the new console, I want them to take full advantage of that hardware and up. I think it's still going to stuck. They're still trying to make it squeeze around old hardware that came out in 2013. Where Sony, again, they're just going to PlayStation 5. Their exclusives are just going to work on the PlayStation 5. You know what I mean? I don't.
It's interesting to see how that's going to play out. I think it is possible that Xbox has backward compatibility and Sony does not. I think there'd be a mistake on Sony's end because of the digital buyers. Like we were just talking about all the digital content and what's what.
Mm-hmm.
You lose customers when you do that. So you'd think that Sony's gonna have to do the same thing.
Well, not forwards compatible, brother. You know what I mean? What I mean?
No, I would think that they're gonna have it, but I do think it's possible. Sony might say if you want that, buy a PS4 and here's your PS5, and they do look to push their exclusives, which is their talking point, to look better than Xbox's, and it would be very hard for Xbox to probably match
That's what I'm saying, Tim.
Only,
yeah, that's what
it would be hard to match that. So,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I don't know. I don't know.
How do you feel though?
It's possible that Xbox has you can play the games in the cloud. So meaning like if there comes a time where we have a game that's going to be so intensive, you can play it on. Well, X is probably the bottom ground. You make them you around that spec. You know, they could exclude the Xbox One version S and say you gotta need an internet connection. Because it sounds like they have a streaming service that they don't want to talk about right now, but is in full development that you're going to be able to play all these games on your phone or on your freaking wherever you want, play anywhere. So it's possible that it could be emulated in the cloud. Now you're talking 3 years, 7 years down the line, though, or 6 years down the line.
We want gamers to play while they're taking a shit. We don't care where they're at. They could be taking a shit. They could be on the elevator. They could be riding their bike. Well, wait, hold on. We don't actually endorse that. But wherever you are, you should be playing a quote-unquote Xbox game all the time. That's what we want. That's our idea. There's 2 billion gamers in the world. We want to reach 3 billion. Suck on that, Sony.
No, but I mean... Overlord's been drinking now, so at this point of the show.
But last thing, guys, questions. Crackdown 3 most recent delay is the final time Microsoft says. Thoughts about Crackdown 3? Last delay?
75 Metacritic.
75 Metacritic?
Yeah,
I'm still buying it.
They overhyped the cloud. They did.
They overhyped it. It's true, I admit it, but it's still going to be great. It's going to be better than Knack 1, Knack 2, Drive Club, The Order 1886.
Overlord, I actually heard a rumor that you actually played the Crackdown 3.
Crackdown 3 is great. I tell you what, the Wrecking Crew, it's amazing. You're going to love it. You're going to be like, wow, you can get so much destruction from this bad boy. Smacks it on the roof. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, baby. Crackdown 3, it's going to be beast. And best of all, it's going to be in Game Pass day and date. So no worries, it's going to be #1 on the NPD, just like State of Decay 2. Yeah. So sad. So sad for that Sony game that's going to get delayed again.
All right. Have a drink. I love you.
Yeah. All right, well.
Days gone, long gone, bitches. That game's so days gone. Get out of here. Delayed. It's going to get delayed. Mark my words.
They're smart. That's Sony smart. They're delaying that game.
They're going to delay that game until the year 2020, and it'll still suck. No, it's not. It's terrible.
I don't think anybody's going to like that. I think that game is going to be Sony's first fail.
I saw this thing on Twitter today. It was a template for Sony exclusives. It was amazing. It was truly breathtaking. It showed how they just copy each other, and they have an open world aspect with trees, and then they can just interchange the characters, and it's all the same goddamn game, and nobody cares. I've never seen anything like it. It's crazy.
Oh shit!
Sony fans, they're pretty clumsy, man. I can't believe they believe that shit.
And my man, crap on that guy. I mean, what's his name? The ex-Bottinator. What's his goddamn name again? Xbox Overlord. My bad.
Don't you forget it, Zaire. You suckers told me years ago. Don't try getting out of that deal.
What about PSN? Before I go, what about PSN? What do you think?
PSN is garbage. You'll never be able to change your name. You'll never be able to do anything on PSN because it's trash.
Oh shit! Is it still down?
Hello, I'm talking to you now from PSN. It's me. I'm on PSN. Hello, can you hear me? No, you can't because PSN sucks. Nobody can it's trash. Get out of here, PSN. You can't even change your name on it. It's down all the time. It's downloading Nuke Nukem's Run.
Yeah, right.
I'm afraid to turn on my PlayStation because I might get banned.
Yeah, man. I mean, it is what it is, man. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this show today, hit the like button. If you think the Xbox was goddamn name again, Voltron, what's his name again? The Xbox Overlord. If you think he was full of shit and he was high on that Mountain Dew and Doritos, hit the goddamn like button, man. Shout out to everybody that rocked out with the show live. We appreciate it. We'll be back next Sunday.
Xbox is the best box. Don't forget it.
So they say. So they say. I'm about to go play.
Right, Overlord.
I'm about to go. It can make.
We'll see you tonight, Zaire, just like every night.
Stop stalking me, man. The Xbox Overlord's a fucking stalker. Hold on. Von Lamont says Xbox put AK crap in the Sea of Thieves, still game of the generation.
Sea of Thieves is great. Next question.
So the Kraken has a ball with Rage.
Next question.
Well,
How come nobody's talking about God of War anymore? I don't know. Nobody's talking about it. What happened to Detroit Become Human? Nothing. Nobody's talking about that anymore. On to the next question. Let's go.
Oh shit. Yeah. Well.
Man, this is. We need to all just get this thing. We need to all be overlords.
Yeah, overlord. I'll be the pony.
BGST overlord.
Yeah, the next show I'll be the pony overlord, man. Download the app, man. I'll be the pony overlord, man.
Get some.
Yeah.
We're coming for you, Zaire. Put your hands up now. Let's go.
Yo, let's get out of here. Get out of here.
Let's go. We're coming for you. You can't get away from him. There he is. Hey, there he is. Zaire, put your hands in the air.
Yeah, right.
Wave them around like you just don't care.
Ladies and gentlemen.
You got a redneck truck on your ass.
Hey, listen, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a wild and crazy goddamn show today. Yeah. But listen again, hit the like button. Thank you for rocking out with us live. Tim is about to pass the fuck out. Somebody's on that yayo. We out of here, man.
Rachel's 3 minutes
Later.
away.